Stop the perky just to start it. Stop the perky just to start it. I took off some purple just to warm up. Stop the perky just to start it. I took off some purple just to warm up. Stop the perky just to start it. I took off some purple just to warm up. Stop the perky just to start it. I took off some purple just to warm up.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Kino45, aka Kino the GOAT, and today I'm bringing you what if Deku had the Opie Opie no Mi fruit from One Piece. Now, before we get into the what if, I want to apologize. I've been gone, and hopefully during the school year, even with me having a job and going to school, hopefully I can pedal out at least 3 to 2 videos a week. And now I'm going to start doing it to where I do a series, and I'm going to finish the series before I start a new one. But all my old series, I might revamp them in the future, but I just decided to leave most of those series alone. Except, like, after this series, I'll probably continue to What If Asta and You Know We're Brothers, but that's really it. Most of those series are almost done anyway. And if you want me to finish them, then I mean, y'all can always just drop a like and show me how much you want me to finish them. Yeah, gaining like 1,000 subscribers in like a month help me finish them. Nah, let me stop. But for real though, yeah, I'm gonna try to upload more. I know I keep saying that, but I'm really at a time where content creation is what I really want to do for my future. Like, I don't want to go to college, and I'm almost done with high school, so I need to start now. You get what I'm saying? And also, it's the easiest to become a content creator at this point because everybody is watching. Everybody is indulging. So if you want to be a content creator, I urge you right now to start. Just start. What Long Beach Griffey said, King Vader said, all of them said at DreamCon was to start. That's how they got it. They started. So stop being scared and start. But without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? This what if starts off with young Midoriya, a very small Midoriya, enjoying his favorite clip of his favorite hero, All Might. His mom decides to take him to the doctor because, well, she wants to know why her son still doesn't have a quirk. Most kids get a quirk by the age of 5. Midoriya is around 6, 7, and he still doesn't have a quirk. So she decides to take him to the doctor to see why. Midoriya and Inko ride to the doctor, and the doctor runs a couple of tests, and then they're struck with the bad news. The doctor explains that Midoriya in his big toe has 1 joint. People with quirks normally have 2 joints in their big toe. So the doctor has to break the news to Midoriya and Inko that Midoriya is quirkless, that he is of the, I believe is 15% of the population that doesn't have a quirk. And Midoriya asks the all-important question to the doctor: do you think I could still be a hero like All Might? And the doctor sadly says no. I mean, look at me. I have a quirk, and I'm a doctor. Somebody without a quirk just can't be a hero, Midoriya. I'm sorry. Inko and Midoriya leave the doctor's office and return home. And Midoriya is struck with, well, realization. He realizes that the world is against him, that he will most likely never become a hero, but he still has that part of his heart where he feels like he could become a hero like All Might. He could become number 1. A couple of years pass, and, well, Midoriya is in the 7th grade, the tail end of the 7th grade, and he's going through a rough patch. He's bullied by everybody superior than him, and everybody that is superior than him is everybody. You get what I'm saying? Like, he has no quirk, and mostly everybody he knows has one, especially Bakugo. Bakugo was a childhood friend turned bully. he feels that people without quirks are inferior. It's really kind of racially motivated, if you ask me, but that's besides the point. Um, Bakugo bullies him every day, and Midoriya is really tired of it. He's in a bad spot mentally. One day after school, Midoriya is walking home when he sees a sign. It says martial arts gym open, but it was a smaller building, and it really didn't look like a gym, and it was only one light on. But he decided to take a chance and walk in, and he was met by a mysterious man. Midoriya said, "Is this the martial arts gym?" He said, "Yeah, about that. We're kind of closed." He says, okay, I guess I'll come back later." Midoriya turns away in sadness. The mysterious man stops him and says, "Wait, um, why do you want to learn martial arts?" Midoriya then explains his situation. "It's because I'm quirkless, and I really want to become a hero." The mysterious man says, "You remind me of me when I was little. I felt powerless. I felt like I couldn't do anything. So I got stronger. And I had a mentor to help me. Maybe I could be that person for you." Midoriya says, "Fine. I'll come back this time tomorrow, and hopefully we can actually learn something. What's your name again?" "Law," says the man. The next day, Midoriya returns and sees Law. He says, "Hey, Law, um, am I gonna learn some martial arts today?" He says, "Yes, but first, I want to tell you about myself. I want to tell you how I'm gonna turn you into a hero." Law then begins to tell him how he's not from here. He's from an entirely different world. You see, my what ifs have a sort of multiverse, different worlds that connect. Yes, I'm making a cinematic fucking universe. Law was pulled into my hero's world when he was searching for something. Nothing in particular, just something. And this Law is older. He's in his old age. So, yeah, Luffy's probably the king of the pirates in his world when he left, probably. So he's older. And this Law was searching for something, and he stumbled upon a mysterious whirlpool inside a cave. The whirlpool brought him here, and he didn't know how to return home. He decided to at least set up shop here and try to find a way to get back. He decided to buy this place and make it a gym so he could teach kids who are struggling with problems like him how to defend themselves at least. But you're his only student. Well, Midoriya is his only student. And yeah, Midoriya finds it hard to believe until Law shows him his ability. He says, "Well, you people call it quirks, but I wasn't born with it. I got it from being force-fed a fruit by my mentor." Room shambles. He then switches places with Midoriya. Midoriya is in shock. He says, "Tact." He then lifts Midoriya up and starts to like swirl him around. And Midoriya says, "Okay, Law, stop, please." Starting to feel woozy. Then Law dispels the room and Midoriya says, "Wow." He says, "That's so cool. How did you get the fruit?" "Well, my mentor found it. Well, he bought it off of somebody," says Law. Are there any fruits in my world?" asked Midoriya. "Not that I know of, but you're gonna inherit my fruit." Midoriya is shocked, but he's in more of a maze than shock. He could become a hero with a cool quirk like Law. They then begin to train in martial arts, starting off with basic hand-to-hand combat. Law explains that once you master hand-to-hand combat, you will then learn how to use a sword. Because, Law has a sword. After about a month and a half of learning basic hand-to-hand combat, Midoriya becomes more and more skilled. They then transition into sword work, and it takes Midoriya a little while longer. It takes him over the summer. Midoriya begins to transition into 8th grade. This is the year that they get to determine what high school they go to. Midoriya knows he wants to go to UA. He knows he can make it, especially with Law's training. A couple more months pass, and Law has shown Midoriya almost every technique and move he has with the OP fruit. So Midoriya decided to, well, get ahead. He decided that he should start planning on how to fight or engage people with quirks. So he got his book. Like Midoriya has a notebook full of superheroes. Well, number one heroes. He's a fanboy. He got his book and he started to think of ways of how to beat the heroes in his book. But the first person he started with wasn't a hero yet. He started with Bakugo. He wanted to learn how to defend himself against Bakugo, especially once he get his quirk. And he came up with a plan to defeat Bakugo with the Opi no Mi fruit. But Law wasn't too keen on that. He wasn't teaching him how to get revenge. He was teaching him how to defend himself. But Law then remembers he once wanted revenge too. He then explains that whole ordeal to Midoriya, and Midoriya decides to rip out the page that he had for Bakugo. A couple more months pass, and Midoriya has become very efficient, running every day to boost his stamina. Midoriya is around the same physique as he was in the normal timeline, with him being much faster and much stronger. His confidence is also up, seeing is that every time somebody tries to bully him, his reflexes kick in, and he's, Bakugo can't shoot explosions at him anymore because, dodge man, weave man, Midoriya out here. But, yeah, his reflexes and his speed continue to increase. With his speed getting faster and faster, he realizes that he's getting faster than a normal human. He then asks Law about this. Law says, you realize with enough training, anybody can do anything, right? I mean, I'm a normal human and I'm much faster and much stronger. That's because Law put him on the same training regimen he went through with the Doflamingo Pirates. And yeah, Midoriya is faster, well, much faster than a normal human. And much physically stronger than a normal human as well. He's sort of a superhuman. You know what I'm saying? Like his what is it called? His senses are enhanced. He's faster, he's stronger, and he's even smarter. He's been studying harder as a result. His brain works faster now. He can process and analyze things way faster than he used to. And Midoriya thanks Law for all of his help and training. About a month passes and Midoriya trains with Room non-stop. He wants to figure out why Law couldn't do it multiple times or why he couldn't make a very big one. And it was solely because Law never really wanted to train his stamina. That's why he made Midoriya focus on his stamina. So now, Midoriya tries to make Room multiple times a day for the next month. And he ends up being able, at the end of his little endurance training, he ends up increasing his stamina. And it increases his amount of times he can use Room throughout the day. He can use it around 4 times throughout the day, or use one big room with the size of 4 rooms put together, which he calls Room times 4. And yeah, the time of the UA entrance exam is upon us. Midoriya is walking to UA. He stumbles across Bakugo. And yeah, it kind of goes like in canon, except he's not going to fall. Instead, he is going to just catch himself and continue into the UA entrance exam place. They're going to hear that little lecture from President Mike, and then it's go time. They start the UA entrance exam with Midoriya being the only one to run off because, yeah, everybody's fucking stupid. And yeah, Midoriya runs at his top speed, with Ida being in shock because he's as fast as Ida. his power must be super speed. It has to be Ida thanks to him. About 2 months before the UA entrance exam, Law decides that Midoriya is finished with the training regimen and he is in peak shape. He then says, it's time. It's time for you to get your quirk. It's time for you to get the quirk of operation. If you don't know, the Opi Opi no Mi fruit in English is the Opi Opi fruit, which is short for operation. So his quirk will be called operation. You know what I'm saying? But I know what you're thinking. In One Piece, the user has to die for somebody to get their fruit. Yes, Law knows of this. Wait, is Law going to kill himself? Technically, yes and no. Law uses rune to, hit himself with, he grabs his heart, stops his own heart, and disperses the rune. He then gets Midoriya to revive him. After, he pumps his own. He pulls a Jotaro. He stops his heart and brings himself back, basically. Effectively killing himself for the OP to respawn. So now, Law doesn't have the fruit anymore, but he is still alive. And yeah, that's what we're going with. So I don't want to hear in the comments, oh, it worked like that. Nah, it worked like that. Yeah, it worked like that. But Law pulls out the red heart-shaped fruit and says, Midoriya, eat this and you will be my successor. You will have the Opi Opi no Mi. Midoriya then eats the fruit and feels a rush of power. It's like his body and his mind have been sharpened. His eyes have been opened. And, with all his hard work, Midoriya is sort of a pro with his power. He takes those months to, figure out the moves and to, wish Law goodbye. Because after a bunch of searching, Law figured out how he could get back to his world. He left Midoriya with his fruit and his sword. You see, Law's an old man at this point. He's not going to be fighting or shit like that anymore. So, yeah. He left him with his coat, his sword, and his suit. He didn't leave his hat, though. Just yeah. Why would he leave his fucking hat? But, yep. To himself. Everybody race off, and Midoriya isn't even using his abilities. He's just cutting through them with Law's sword like it's nothing. Because enhanced physical strength, everyone. But he's racking up points and numbers when everybody begins to run. The 0-point robot comes out. And Midoriya hears a scream in the distance. It's Uraraka. Midoriya decides to, yes sir, get into action. He runs at full speed and jumps as high as he can, shouting room ×3, creating a giant bubble around the 0-pointer, then uses tact as high as he can and disperses the room, dropping the 0-pointer to the ground. He made sure Uraraka wasn't in the way, though, so don't think he just crushed her. He then passes out in midair, and Uraraka saves him by slapping him, and the recovery girl comes. He wakes up in her office, and yeah, about a week later, he gets his UA entrance exam letter telling him that he had the top score and how he was going to UA. And he knew Law would be proud. But that is all the time we have for today, folks. If you enjoyed this What If, please drop a like, subscribe, comment, trying to get this to the recommended. So please tell your friends about me, my guy. But I'm going to be trying to upload more. And with that, I love you all. Peace.
Yeah. No, I'm posted in the booth running to. Gotta get in the mood. No, I'm rocking the feelings. Yeah. And boy, I'm sipping tea in your heart. What the fuck is up, you buttercup? Park in that blunt, smoking suicide, bloody blood. Pussy boy, you talking shit for Twitter.